Aviv.
First rule of engagement. That's going to take him 5. Proceed to jump point.
Lots of tower cranes in Tel Aviv. We have one tower crane, 2 tower cranes. And that, another one behind that, one over there. There's a tower crane. Tower crane.
Of warmth and years of cooling, the Mediterranean has advanced and receded. Sand dunes compacted under the water and left it as these rocks. These rocks can be dangerous because it's 95% under the water, and a time of strong waves with a lot of foam. You don't know, if you don't know the exact spot in the two underwater rocks, you will break against the rocks. In medieval English, there is a saying, going down to Jaffa, which means going down to the most dangerous place where you're not sure you will return. And that's because here, this was one of the main entrances into the country for people like Richard and I getting supplies over here. So when they return, I've been to know and came back. Going down to Jaffa. But let's go with it a little bit earlier. From burning fire, and this is one of the major problems in the Middle East. Population to a point that a few months ago they were discussing that these kind of African workers happen to all those farmers. So there won't be any congregations, won't be any people. Who will come to serve whom? That was a major among others in Turkey. Only the crazy Jews remain over here because it's not only that we don't have where to go, but this is our origin and our roots. And that's where we go back to 4,000 years. While the Arabs historically are new products over here. They might claim to be here from time immemorial. That's our because the only logical thing in the Middle East is that nothing is logical. After truckload of material brought to the spot into which they will be able to plant the heavy material that they so that it will hold. Because one of the major problems of this country is hurricane. This is an active part of the longest fault on Earth, and once in about 100 years tells history that we had a devastating earthquake over here. It's giving us shade, excellent. We love trees, but when they grow up at a certain point, they grow up and they start. And that's why the last time, see how big it is, but by the time, this is the only thing that stands here. Music in Turkish much later time, because for one reason or the other, the town stopped living as a living center. No more. It became part of a bigger empire under the Mamelukes and under the Crusaders and under the Turks. And what was needed over here is to guard the ancient, still ongoing road connecting one province here of the north, what you call Syria, and Egypt, which were all under the Turks. So you needed a place to change horses, a place to add safety on the road, so you build this. And about it. So you need somebody over there in the highest point looking directly over the water. But nobody is coming in, for example, to poison the water. It doesn't mean that any enemy has to take the fort. Okay? And it doesn't mean that the fort is built only to defend. It can be a watchtower as well. Okay?
Yeah, that's what Hollywood was. Yeah, the fortress that it has to be overcome.
The mountains in the center of the country and the mountains of the Negev. And so big drainage, see here it's almost like the Niagara. I've seen it a few times when it is sweeping over here like never before. And it is converging in front of us. And
Beersheba, where the two rivers meet. There's one river.
The Bedouins who came for the taking.
Here's the other river. There's the front gate. There's where they meet. Ancient.
Causing a lot of problems over here because one of their occupations is they say don't steal the beauty. We Bedouins are exempted from that. And so anything that is like change on price or anything is free for all, especially for us. Ahead rather than the curve. On the curve, it's faster. The water is faster. So if you allow an exit, you can draw the water by its own power inside the city into an underground network of how do you call it, of cisterns. And that's exactly what they have done. And we are talking again about an Israelite project. Exactly when, we are not sure, probably later in Israelite time. And it will be using very, very clever idea of the water power on the curve to come by themselves into their reservoirs. And the reservoirs, that you have to do is open a shaft in order to go down to the reservoir and then bring it back into the city. Then what you have to do is on there.
Oh my goodness. Are we there yet?
No, not yet.
I'll pull under the stick. Go ahead.
You want one going up?
Yeah, you don't have to tear down, you can do it.
I took one going down.
It's just hanging on my wrist.
I think it's cool.
Cheap as well.
Water will not seep through and disappear. They plastered it. But if you pay attention, you'll see there's not only one layer of plaster, especially over here you can see. There are a few layers of plaster. Here's one, here's two. What does it tell you? It tells you it was in use for a longer time. Because from time to time you come and you plaster it again. Maintain it, that's right. If this used only for 10 years, okay. But if you use it for 200 years, time to time, once in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you will need to do it again. Or it will just destroy itself.
Did this fill up in the flood?
It filled up, it all depends on how much of a flood. I know that it is a little bit dark, but this is the whole idea, minimize the light in order to give you a feeling of the underground, right? That's the idea of water. And it's rather secretive. Shh, don't tell everybody because they will take the water away. So where is the water? Ah, there's the water. You are up to your knees in water. Friends, look how it was built. Some of the rock is being left over here like an arch to support the rest of the rock about us. Because once one of the problems over here are earthquakes, right? And you don't want it to be destroyed. And the other thing, the plaster to keep the water in from seeping out. Okay. And there are more than one layer of plaster. Here you can see two.
This is a cistern?
It's a cistern. It's not exactly a cistern. It's a water. It's a water reservoir.
Right, but I mean the water has to
Yes, the water is coming, but not from the top. It's coming, wait a second, you'll see, because we are going backward to the entrance. Entrance to the system, and here it comes from. Look at the tunnel. We must find the beginning of the system. The way that we put